All right. Well, hey there, fam. Welcome as we begin our adventures here on Friday night or Saturday early morning, whichever works out for you. And we go with our tales of the old gods of Appalachia. We had our amazing team, really a family of sorts, found their way deep within the mines of BNL number 14. It was there that they had done some good and helped everyone move forward and now reside back at their home. But we're going to get this started. Remember, with those channel points, you can always give at least advantage. Some of the other things do not make as much sense as with the D&D games, but if you so desire, you can give them 2d20s to roll. And we'll be putting out more cipher system activities as our time goes on. But with that, let's go. Darkness was all around Avery County that night. Though almost too much given what happened. After all, something far darker and deeper than night had been driven under, sealed. A working that, while needs maintaining, do for now. Many a seasoned practitioner would have looked at the motley ritual, the grass, and what had been sealed, find it sloppy. But it'll hold for now. And while the four that walked away had given dearly, they unfortunately had themselves left with more questions. Who did this? Why? Why are they making it so hard on the mayor and the people of Avery County? Heck, if these four hadn't come along, and if they don't do something, this whole county is going to be nothing but a prison. Prison will be the only place here. Everyone leaving. The only one speaking up, well, that was the one that was blamed, the mayor herself. It's with these thoughts that might keep one up at night, but Baser, Charlie, and Ruby, They bodies were far too tired and worn out, their spirits worn thin, to let any of it keep them up. But, like all things left out overnight, his suspicions were far too ripe when it hit their head in the morning. And it came with the day's chores to keep their little place going. For haint or not, chickens need feeding and goats need milking. But all the while, had they been more aware, they may have seen what watched them from the tree line. But they missed it now. And it is with that early morning, waking up, each one feeling like they had been hit by a train, like they had fought a war, because they had. They found each other down at the kitchen. So, everyone, the story is yours.
Sorry, I just choked on air. I think Basil would try to see if she could develop those photos.
Do you imagine that you have like something to do that at the house, or where do you develop your photos?
I would assume, because it's not like they had places to do that before, and I would assume that if Basil has some money, so I would assume she reads so freaking much. I'd assume it's something she knows how to do. Hence why she had a camera stand.
Yeah. Where do you think you have it set up?
A makeshift root cellar that way there's no light in there.
Mm-hmm. So taking over with your pictures, the root cellar with your chemicals, you slowly but methodically push forward with what you have. And you're fairly practiced at this. So, what comes out? The man that you had beaten several times. Picture of him is okay. Just out of focus at the eyes. Features too general.
Are his hands in focus so they can see the hair coming off of it?
You do see the hands. And you have the picture of the working that had been done. And looking at the one of the thing that rose, there is undoubtedly something there. You can see teeth, but its form, it's almost like the light didn't know what to do with it. Whether people would see it might be some big cougar that got in there or something else they might get, you can carefully see there are too many teeth and too many claws present. It's definitely something, between those and the ones you took, one could tell something's going on. As
but
much as they're
not
probably rational.
necessarily the supernatural, something that we all know.
It's not as clear as what you all saw, which you think back on it. And it's always hard to tell, especially with hints and those things down there, how much of it is really here and how much of it is you being able to see beyond what the eye can, piercing through. But something a little bit procure an extra. So you think you could probably spin this different ways, but
Did we get a picture of the all the pieces together before we did the ritual?
yes.
That was the other one.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I think those were the 3 pictures we took.
Mm-hmm.
Unless someone can remember another one that I'm forgetting.
That sounds right. We might have taken multiple ones at maybe of one of those 3 things, but those are the 3 sort of subjects that we took pictures of.
Yeah.
Well, I will share the photos with the group.
Charlie very specifically does not look at the picture of the thing. He sort of sees that one of the pictures is of that, and he's kind of, it's like, I don't need to. I don't need to look at that thing. I looked at that thing enough.
Yeah, well, that thing don't look like that thing on the picture.
No, it's close enough for me. Close enough for me.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. Like, you know what it looks like, so it kind of fills in the picture for you.
Yeah, and I'm not going to pretend that I didn't see that thing probably once or twice in my dreams last night. Let's set up.
The problem is telling them what we saw versus what we see in the picture. They're gonna just straight up lock us away.
Yeah.
And I actually fear if we start showing the picture of the ritual, they're just going to say the mayor did the ritual.
Well,
what we want is we need to show the mayor.
Right.
Well, I think we can show the picture of the. Well, he has weird eyes in this one, but you can clearly see his hands, and you can see that there are strands of hairs on his hands. So I think that's part of it, but we could always kind of just leave out the ritual pictures and say it was a big ass panther. I don't know.
Yes, that's a possibility. Though isn't the specific problem that some of the miners have turned on each other, right? Or do they know that for certain?
See, we didn't hear that until we got to the mine.
Yeah, it's people are disappearing. That's what we were hearing.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I mean, big mean cat in the underground.
Yeah. Your big thing is that you heard people began falling into the mine. And so there was thought, and so the mayor saying that she was being blamed for it, that she was doing something or making the mine unsafe.
We know it's not that. We know that it's not unsafe. Because, I mean, hell, we went down there and we came back up, right?
Right.
Hopefully it's safer now than it was.
What if we cause doubt in people's minds that... Because we know that people are being lied to from the prisoners, and I know the prisoners, nobody's going to believe them because they're, well, prisoners. But
you actually thinking trying to spread the idea that there hasn't actually been any disappearances, or that?
Yeah, that people are just.
Hmm. It was prisoners that were disappearing. Is that right? Because they're the ones who've been working the mine.
Mostly the prisoners, but I know there's been other people that have disappeared too. And if they could be like, oh, we've got this picture of this thing with teeth. Be like,
I mean, they might have just run because who wants to face the thing with teeth?
or this thing with teeth was dragging them away,
Yeah.
and we took care of it.
You got to think of who you're going to put that on.
What's his name? He's trying to cover his butt. I want to call him a dean, but I know that's not correct.
The
You think of the
warden.
warden?
Yeah.
The warden. Okay.
Blame the warden because he's the one that has the most to lose out of this with the prison.
Right, because if he's sending down prisoners knowing there's something down there taking and eating them, that's on him.
He's gonna look bad.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Hmm.
I mean, it's a story that it certainly gives motivation. I mean, it's more motivation than the mayor wanting people to disappear for some seemingly nebulous reason. Of course, we're really we can probably explain some of the weirdness of the pictures just at how do you calmly take a picture of a
Giant cat eating
mountain lion.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm. Well, starting a rumor is one thing, but we have to be showing the picture to somebody. And I don't know if we need to show the picture to somebody who can then start spreading that story and that idea.
Well, here's one person in this town that talks to practically all the people. Like,
Pastor.
no. Well, yes, but no. No, he's the one person in town where they can loosen people's lips and kind of.
You're thinking going back to the banana split. Is that what you're thinking?
I didn't say it. You did. You said it out loud.
Miss Ruby, it is too early. It is too early in the morning for that sort of wordplay.
No. It's never too early.
I mean, she's not wrong.
No, she's not. Is there any kind of news office in this town? Like local one-page tabloid or
In this podunk town?
in this? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't
In this
know.
one-horse town, I doubt it.
I think pretty much only what can be produced by Basil in the library.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can make pamphlets on the dangers of wildcats in the area. I can do that all day.
Actually, if the library has records, could we look and see if there's what kind of record there is of deaths due to wildcats?
If there's a history of wildcats in the area,
Something it would help. It helps give the story some basis if we can actually point to some facts, some actual
I
ones.
dig some of those up. Yeah, I should be able to find that fairly easily.
and I think it is a absolutely wonderful idea, Charlie, to go to the banana split and tell people start spreading rumors there, because drunk people will believe pretty much anything.
How about y'all go to the banana split and I'll go do research? I might go with the whole people part.
No, it'll have to be later on, whenever everybody's like actually drinking and stuff.
Well, Miss Ruby, you know as good as I do, there are some people where that hour is long since passed already.
Oh, well, you know what? Drinking rum before 10 a.m. doesn't make you an alcoholic. It makes you a pirate.
I'm not sure I want to be either.
It is too early in the morning for this.
I would just like to say you started it, Charlie.
You did.
I mean, it was your idea.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of the owners of the dance halls and the places I used to play in Memphis were less sharks than the two of you.
I don't know what you're referring to.
That's quite all right, Miss Basil. That's quite all right. So, are we? I mean, in attempting to be, are we set on this plan? Is this what we? Is this how we want to try to approach this?
I think it's the most believable way to approach it. Unless, of course, you want to go down and be like, hey, there was a ritual and it was trapping ghosts and the ghosts were trying to make people kill each other.
I think that we should speak to the mayor herself. Kind of feel the waters a bit, I guess you could, so to speak. See how she reacts to these hypothetical situations that we got ourselves in.
What if we just show her the pictures and then extrapolate off of what she says?
There you go.
You want to show her the picture of the ritual as well?
I think I'm going to hold that one back.
Okay.
If she thinks it's something supernatural, then I can be like, well, we weren't sure about this picture, and then we'll show it to her. But otherwise, we'll just pretend it doesn't exist.
Where does our friend, the one who wouldn't kindly stay knocked out, how does he fit into our story though? Because we have two pictures to show. One of
he could, because
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I don't know if we were actually had anything to do with him. We weren't told about any disappearances in the woods, were we?
I don't remember. Were we?
I think they were just in the mine, and we don't still really know what happened to him. He most likely... Well, no, I take that back. We did do something that seemed to finally...
Yeah, you don't remember the big...
No.
At the end of that?
Yeah,
that's what I dreamt last night.
Yeah, I've tried not to think about that either. Too many things last night looked at me as if... Well... Looked at me with more familiarity than I care to think about. So, but yes, no. So, but
So maybe we hold that picture back too, unless she mentioned something about things being missing in the woods, and then we'd be like, well, we did sidetrack that, and we did notice this guy.
Who wouldn't die?
We don't mention that part. We just say we scared them off.
We could always say that.
Coil.
We could always say that he was terrified of something, and then we found the something.
There you go. That too.
What's the plan? Where do you want to go?
What to say? So we go into the mayor first, then, before we start enacting.
Well, I think we go to the mayor. And if she thinks it's a big cat, and she, goes off that, we can be like, well, let me go look up some records and we'll get you some more background on it. That way we make it think it's her idea.
That's
So
not
if shit
a
goes sideways, it ain't on us.
What
okay.
do you think?
Right. Okay. Sounds like a plan.
But y'all do the talking.
Okay.
Along those lines, I do talk about this briefly last time. I got a little something that might help with speaking with those in power, but I am not as versed in persuasion as Ruby is. So I don't know, Ruby, if you would like to use this.
Well, I've got something similar too, and it's about they. Okay, there it goes.
I'm sticking the text for mine in the private chat so you can see what it does.
Yeah, this one eases interactions by one person by 2 steps. The one that I have. Give me a second. I'm trying to remember how to work my computer here. Let's see, I think. Sorry,
Yeah.
Discord just died on me.
No, Discord, why?
It does not like Discord, and I don't know why.
Yeah, mine, the one that I have, just in brief, it's all interactions with people in power. Cops, lawyers, mayors, preachers, and so on are eased.
Where'd you put it?
I put it in the private chat of the StreamYard.
Oh! I was
Sorry.
looking in Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
No, that was my
There
fault.
you go.
I misunderstood. If the cipher level is 5 or higher, what does that mean?
So the cipher level with it was a 1d6, and this was one of the starting ones. So I rolled a 1d6, but I don't know if for the starting ones they're just level 1.
No, you roll it.
I roll it? Okay, because I rolled a 6 on it.
There you go.
Nice.
So it can ease by 2.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All I got is this is what I have on this one.
Drops of water. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it looks like the big difference is just going to be whether we want it to just focus on one person or have the ability for a day to talk to several people in power.
Yeah, I think that's what we need to find out. We need to figure out now before doing either of these.
Yep. Well, you're free to use. You're free to use the one I have.
Okay. What do we think we're going to be talking to more than just the mayor today, or do we?
The only reason I think of it is that the warden has already kind of stuck his nose in our business once during this whole thing, so we got by that. I think thanks to Miss Ivy, got us past that one, but who's to say that he's not going to try to do that again?
Does the warden have like a second in command?
Assume there's other guards. I don't know if there'd be a particular.
I would say, from what you know, it would be the warden and then guards.
Warden and guards.
Because if I know the name of 2 of them and I think they're friendly, I could kind of make them enemies for a little while.
Ezra, you did also meet a prisoner, Ty Donovan.
Yeah.
Right. That was the prisoner we met.
You think we can convince him to go along with there's a giant cat down there?
I think that's the only potential problem with the story is that I feel like the prisoner, much like the post, there's a postman we spoke with at the speakeasy, right? That we got
Yeah.
the
He saw
information from.
something.
Both of them seemed convinced that there was some that I'm not sure the two of them will be convinced by a story of a wild animal.
Well, what did they describe seeing?
They didn't describe it seeing anything. That's the thing.
I thought I might
The
be I might be
postman didn't describe anything. He said all I know is he saw something. He didn't describe anything. He didn't say anything. It was the look in his eyes.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember if the prisoner said something about prisoners starting to get angry with each other.
That's all there was. Yeah.
But so he at least knows that there is something like that going on, which I don't know. As you say, prisoners potentially wouldn't be listened to anyways, and maybe as long as things stop, he won't care what the why or the how.
Yeah, I think we need to just go to the mayor first and see,
Okay.
build off that. Because otherwise, we're just going down rabbit holes with everyone we run into.
Right.
Okay. God, I'd hate to waste this, but yeah.
Well, I mean, do you think we could convince the mayor to have like a town meeting tonight? And then it wouldn't be a waste, right?
Yeah.
What I'd say is ciphers are meant to be used.
Yeah, I know.
Let's rock and roll.
I think
Okay.
the issue is figuring out which of these
That
makes the
that's
most sense.
yeah, that's that's the problem is trying to figure out which one makes the most sense. Um well, okay. Take off my shoe and stick the thing in my shoe so anybody within power, higher power, cops, lawyers, banners, preachers, blah 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 are
Yeah.
eased by two.
Yeah, it's the poke bag of sweetening. So I will go
Mhm.
ahead and take that off of mine.
Okay.
Okay. So shall we pay a visit to the mayor?
Sounds like it. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. In that case, moving up doesn't take you too long. To get up to the office of Jane Howland. So, find your way up to the office of Newland's mayor, Jay Howland. This early, as you ask around, you find yourself knocking right on the courthouse. But you know that's where she's found in the morning, upstairs where she lives. And she comes down, invites y'all up. She goes, "All right, I've been anxious to hear from y'all. Let's have some tea." Right?
Tea would be lovely.
Thank you kindly, ma'am.
So, you find out enough information so that I'm not the one put up here.
Well, we found something. We just want to get your opinion on it. We got a picture we'd like you to see.
What picture do you show her?
the thing that came up from the depths that kind of looks like a cat, but ain't a cat.
My gosh, what is that?
We can't really tell. What do you see?
Looks like you grabbed a few animals in there.
They do tend to, most feral felines do tend to travel in packs.
All right. Well, so, I mean, he wasn't hit by an animal. They found his neck broke.
I found his neck broke. What?
Well, we think that might have to do with this picture, and I'll put the man out.
See the stairs closely. You think he's been doing it?
Well, we saw him in the woods, and he was acting real crazy and all. We didn't get too close. I mean,
She
I'm gonna
look
looks
at-
closely. Her face goes white.
Do I still have the marks on my neck from
Hmm.
when the dude had me against the tree? And I'll be like, y'all didn't get too close, but he went above breaking a neck.
yeah, he almost broke her neck.
There's a
We had to fight him
wide.
off. What? You okay?
She goes to a file in her office, starts leafing through, and takes out this folder, puts it out. It looks like there's several. You see that there's several stains on it, small ones, brown. Not big enough to be coffee like a cup, but it's all lying around. She takes out several newspaper clippings.
She did my job for me.
Looks. You ever heard of the Howling Strangler?
The Howling Strangler?
There was two. He tended to people who were to howl late at night. Says he got somebody and everyone would go looking in the wood. And then part of that was it says that he had a particular taste for howlings. My family.
Oh.
We figure he killed at least 3.
Any of them
And-
redheads?
I don't think so. She puts up this clipping. Shows a picture of the man that you have fairly clearly. Except his eyes are closed. And he's sitting in an electric chair.
Oh.
I saw him dead myself.
Do you know where he was put? Where he was buried?
He would have been in the Kennett jail graveyard.
You sure he didn't have an offspring?
One that looked
Nothing
exactly
I knew
like
of.
him?
Some genetics are strong.
Now you look close. Looks like he's wearing the same shirt, same pants.
Oh.
A little cleaner.
Well,
The ones that he was wearing.
Well, the ones... What? Well, he was in the woods gathering hagstones. up. All right. Okay. So I can't go on like this. Okay. So
Because Basil's literally hyperventilating in the corner.
Okay.
I
Okay.
cannot go on like this. I'm gonna be straight with you. Somebody was doing some weird voodoo shit down there, and they, you know that story about the two brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they were down there, and they kind of twisted their feelings and twisted everything down there, and created a lot of hate and stuff. And even though we came across, we talked to one of the prisoners, and people aren't disappearing. They're not just falling in. They were turning on each other down there, killing each other down there.
There's
And
the ritual circle.
yeah,
So you trying to tell me it was James McCavery or these brothers?
it was.
Charlie's gonna try to calm Ruby and Basil down. Hang on. We're telling the mayor a lot of information, not well connected at the moment.
Yeah,
Mayor, we're not sure how it started. But if we're gonna be straight, Basil, you have to show her the last picture.
There you go.
And she'll show the picture, and he's gonna try to say, somebody has been messing with things they shouldn't be messing with. And it's seeming more and more obvious that there's potentially somebody who is... He looks to Ruby to make sure that he's not speaking out of line here. That she's... to sort of try to be fully straight with the mayor.
No, she kind of toasts you and like, go ahead.
Okay. Somebody set up, for lack of a better term, Mayor, a ritual. And this ritual called up something. We saw it, I saw it, we all saw it with our own eyes. And it's what is in that first photo. It is likely not a mountain lion. It's not anything of this world. They set up a ritual that conjured the essence, the spirit of these brothers,
It's
and
hate.
And trapped them in hate, and caused them to start influencing some of the prisoners working down in the mine.
Do you... The worst part about this is they exhumed their mother's remains and used her remains to bind these two in hatred and cause all this weird stuff that's been happening.
And I'm starting to wonder, Mayor, if the same individual who set up this ritual, everything seems to point to they may have done themselves a bit of grave robbing. Because when we came in contact with this individual, and he points to the picture of the man, there was no talking going on. There was not much behind the eyes. It just wanted to hurt us.
We took him down. It took a lot, but we took him down. He ain't coming back from that, hopefully. I don't think. But I think what we need to know is who would benefit the most on this mine getting you out.
Breathes a bit. Well, first of all, that man at least was James McCavery. Was the Howling Strangler.
It seemed to be his of choice.
I don't know. I mean, my my grandma used to talk about stuff like him. They just said, never get in the way of the blank-eyed man.
We could have used that advice a day ago.
Right. Right. Just kind of shakes her head, kind of getting a little scared. If there's someone doing this, this is what I know. If I'm brought down by some type of scandal, it'd be very easy at this point for Barrow and Locke, or even Kennett Prison, to declare us not even a town. People are moving out, and if I was taken out, I think everyone would just pack up and go. Ain't no jobs really since the prison is leasing since the mines are leasing the prison. And already all the plantations do.
Who owns the prison?
County technically owns it, but I mean, Warden keeps a tight ship, that's for sure. And he's been the one arranging for the leasing. The state government gets the majority of the money. I'm sure. The warden, I'm sure, gets his cut. It's a big business.
Yeah.
Are the warden and the barons friendly?
Barons. If you're talking about the folks from B&L, well, I know Ross Bailey oversees the mine for B&L. I think he's pretty good. He frankly don't care. It costs him less to lease the prisoners than it does to pay the workers. You don't really care what happens to this town or this county.
Well, we found this weird card as well, which is a B&L card. But we can't make heads or tails of it.
We also found it in the ritual site.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, that means someone from B&L. Y'all are talking such strange things. What do you think we should do?
I think we need, if we can get, I don't know, like proof of contracts or proof that somebody's getting paid off.
Right.
It sounds like there's something deeper going on, and it's all about money. That's what it sounds like to me. Because if
There's
they
a
get
prisoner. Wait, go ahead.
if they can get rid, if they can just wipe this little town off the map, and they get cheap labor from prisoners, and all that's here is a prison. They could just make more money It's more profit. I mean, from a business standpoint, it makes sense. But from an ethical standpoint, it's just wrong.
Yeah. I've never been able to quite stand up to B&L, but I mean, they ain't doing no wrongdoing, leasing prisoners.
But to frame you and to just kick everybody out, like just practically run everybody out of town.
Well, then let me ask you, right? How dirty you okay with getting?
Charlie actually watches to see what Basil and Ruby say to that.
Well, I've done my fair share in my day.
There's no point pretending that my soul is spotless or clean. What exactly are you proposing?
See, the way I see it, as long as the prisoners are under lease and nothing unfortunate happens, it's going to continue. Now, by no means do I mean anything harm should come to those boys. But, and frankly, I don't think it would have changed anything anyway. But if something unfortunate would happen to the prison, and might be just a way I can get myself out of another debt in the midst of this, actually. But let's say there was some type of disruption with the prisoners within the mine or who had worked there. That wouldn't look too good on them at all.
No.
Might even have to shut that down, maybe too unsupervised. There's a man whose family happened to my family a while back. He's in that prison. He's a prisoner, name of Ty Donovan. He's kind of the leader there. Ross Bailey runs things, but Ty basically carries out his orders and gives them to everyone else. I know. Let's just say, someone like him has likely seen things like all of you. And you probably don't like that one bit. And they can only keep such a close eye on those boys. You get my drift?
I think I'm starting to. Sorry, Ruby.
No, it's fine.
That's all Charlie says.
I'm like my brain like scared like my okay, so Courtney's brain, I don't know if I'm lining up. Because my brain is immediately going, oh, scare this guy so bad he refuses to go down and runs away. Go down into the mine and runs away.
Basil's gonna lean over to Ruby and be like, "Is she talking about we cause a prison break?"
I think, just to sort of back out of the role play for a minute, for clarification, I think what she's saying is that we might have a contact on the inside who could disrupt things because he'd just assume not be there either.
Oh,
But
okay.
that could be
I
Charlie.
think everything you're saying is basically an option.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where
Yeah.
where the
Gotcha.
mayor's really kind of getting this out. The mayor does have a certain thing she's thinking, but at the
Right.
same point, she wants something done without harming anybody.
Right.
No, I
Doesn't
get it.
want, and you get those vibes very strong from her. She doesn't. She respects minors and the people who do it. She's very that way.
Yeah.
Which is why she's so horrified at the allegations. Because
So would there be? I mean, is there a way? Pardon me for asking perhaps a naive question. Would there be a way for us to talk to one of the prisoners or the visiting hours?
what I'll tell you is, you see, they need to get food, and every Wednesday, the ladies from Our Sacred Hope bring them food, and they always looking for volunteers. And sometimes they even witness to those boys.
Okay.
And I know it's not usually your your usual fare there, Charlie, but if you could work yourself a hymn or two, I'm sure they'd love to have you.
Well, ma'am, I certainly think I can do that.
What day is today? I've lost track.
We'll say it's Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a long couple days.
Yeah. Now it's up to you whether you use that or you proceed another way. But we get that. There's something bad gets started to said about them. Right? Something not safe, or them leaving or causing ruckus, whatever it is. Then we talk about a danger within them on themselves. Maybe that's what caused them. Maybe that's why they left, or where they felt like they had to, like with some of these pictures.
Yeah. I had a thought. Keyword there, had. And it just fluttered away like a little butterfly. Oh, I remembered. Okay, so Ty, is he part of the guards or is he a prisoner?
Prisoner.
He is a prisoner. Okay.
And just for clarification, Matt, I think at the beginning, is he the prisoner we met that night?
Yes.
Yeah, so we've met him already.
We've met him already, so he knows.
He actually knows us, and he knows that we were around there looking for something. So we have an in with him already.
Yeah.
We also gave him a ton of hagstones.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got an in with Ty already. So I think we need to talk. I think we need to speak to Ty about this. And tomorrow would be a perfect day to go speak to Ty about this.
But first, you got to go work your magic on a pastor so that we can go in and talk to her.
Okay.
Not too much magic.
Oh.
If you are looking at a god, I don't know why you would, but Evan Kruger is fresh-faced, new to the prison. Might be maybe someone who's a little easier to go through, and depending on what you come up with, because we should not meet again till this is done. There's Ruby May Beard. She's in charge of the Kennett's kitchen, and let's just say she gets a lot of control over over what goods arrive in there. She would need a little greasing.
Let's see.
But tell you right now, I don't know if you've run into the warden there, Vincent Bateman. That man,
He's a not so nice person.
that man, if he feels like you've done something wrong at all, he no longer sees you as a person. You're just a thing, an animal to him.
All right.
So, all right. Well, I think you're probably right, Miss Maya, that we should make this our final conversation until something a little more final is made. Is there anything else, Ruby Basil, that we should, any other information that we might need?
I think we're good.
I think for all the strangeness going on, Miss Mayor, I think that we are all of the same mind of not wanting to see any of this violence continue, but that there perhaps needs to be a change in the way things are working in that mine.
Mm-hmm.
You're the same mind. Hope you all liked your tea.
It was lovely, ma'am.
It was wonderful. We appreciate your hospitality. Got some work to do.
All right, where would you like to go?
Oh. We gotta talk to the preacher.
Well, there's the preacher, but there was I missed the name. I'm sorry. It sounded like it was also Ruby, who was in charge of the provisions.
Ruby Maybell.
Yeah, but she's the one who Ruby May Beard. She oversees, but she's not of the church group.
Okay.
That goes on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
She's in charge of the provisions that get sent to the prison.
Right.
Okay.
And the church group just takes care of things on Wednesday for the miners who are. So.
Yeah, I guess it would be the preacher then.
Because he's the one way we can get in. And they don't. And the prison doesn't have visiting hours.
It does not sound like it, based on what we know
I mean,
of.
you could probably do a visiting. You just only thing I'd say is it's going to be it end up being very official and on the books,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You'd be signing, you'd be doing things. So that's
We'd
just what you'd
also
have to go through.
Church. And I have an idea.
Okay.
I got this bottle. And I've kind of explained it to me that if I wrote down 2 names and I put it in the bottle, that if they're friendly, they could become enemies. So if Ty had this bottle, he could use it probably the most advantageously by writing 2 names down and putting it in the bottle. And that could start a disruption.
Yeah.
We
But
also
if we did it on the books, I don't think I could get the bottle to Ty.
That's true. We also do, though, have the name of the warden, and we have the name of B&L's representative.
Right, but how do we get them? I think it's most effective if they're in the same room together. So, how we get them together and then make it a public fight?
Hmm.
And I think that's why, like, if that was a disruption either down in the mines or in the prison, it might not.
I guess I was thinking it might disrupt it in a quieter way if the 2 people who are directly involved in that leasing all of a sudden don't like each other anymore.
But I think the mayor kind of wants it a more public display.
Yeah.
That's
We need something
we can do
that'll
that.
get out there. If it stays in the prison or it stays in the mine, if it happens in the prison or it happens in the mine, it's going to stay there. It's not going to get out. They're so quiet about everything because they're like, oh, people are just going missing. No, that's not the case. People have been dying. People are getting violent with each other. They'll cover it up just like they covered up the last bit.
Well, either way, I think we need to potentially go get us some churching.
Ready to start your penance?
Ooh.
I don't know if we have time enough for Charlie to start planning.
I've been working on that for a while, Ruby, and not made a whole lot of progress. But as long as no lightning bolts hit me when I cross the threshold, we'll call that a win.
I'm sure you won't set on fire the second you step in there.
Are you?
Well, I'm about 25% sure.
After everything I've seen the last 2 days, I'm not really sure nothing.
I'm like I said, about 25% sure he won't set on fire the second he steps in that church.
If
No
you do,
offense,
I'll
Charlie.
find you some water, Charlie.
Miss Ruby, I can always rely on you to offer the sweetest words to tell me exactly where I stand.
Well, I'm 10% sure that I won't set on fire.
Oh, now.
What is wrong with you people? I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to set on fire.
Are you?
Yeah.
Really? After everything that we've seen, are you really?
Yes.
Okay.
To be fair, Miss Basil just took the pictures. The rest of us were.
I mean, I may have set fire. No, I didn't set fire. I controlled the fire so it didn't burn down the forest.
Yeah, you did a good job at that too. Just remember, I'd pee on you if you were on fire.
That's very unhygienic, but thank you.
Hey, whatever puts it out.
I prefer you'd find some water.
Well, if there weren't any, I'd pee on you.
I'm worried about it burning up on fire. I probably shouldn't throw holy water on you, should I?
If I catch on fire randomly in the church, you probably shouldn't.
I'm just thinking it through.
Yep. All right. Let's go talk to the priest.
All right. So, what would you like to do?
We're heading to the church. Talk to the priest about getting in to help on the morrow.
All right.
Okay, just for my information, is this just regular Christian priest or Catholic priest? Should I just call him priest or should I call him father?
He'd be more just where you find out. Yeah, it would just feel more Methodist.
More Methodist. I don't know Methodist. I know
So
Catholic.
just
and I know
pastor
Christian.
would be
Okay, just
your
pastor.
character. No,
Okay.
pastor would be good. Yeah,
Yeah,
All
pastor.
right. All right. I grew up Catholic, which is why I ask.
Pastor, Reverend Mister,
Yeah, anything along those lines.
Father.
Um. So the nice white painted building with a proper steeple, even that rises at least 15 feet high, is quite the place here now in Newland. Mostly because it was built for before all this started to go down, and at least half of everybody's gone. So, in the wake of many places having to double up or triple in order to keep things moving and their town consolidating, the church stands as a place that still, well, despite people wondering exactly why they're not taking the fair share all the time, place that still has as many seats as ever, even if they're never filled. But everyone knows that's where you go to see everybody on Sunday. This isn't a place that's unfamiliar to any of you. You come in here in the afternoon, and there is in the middle, with in the space where there are quite a few chairs, meeting hall for everybody to sit, and type of chairs here could all be pushed back, or sorry, pulled up. They're wooden folding chairs, so you could have any number type of events, especially the lunch packing that's currently being set up for. There are all types of kettles and things to get moving, and over 300 men need to be fed. And as of right now, all the preparations are being made for the ladies' auxiliary to come in and take care and make all these lunches tomorrow morning. In the midst of it, you do see what could be considered the pastor of the church. He has many duties, not the least of which is to run the general store, and every twice a week he did work in the mines as well. This has endeared him to the people quite a bit. This is uh, Pastor Philip, and he, being a working man, a man who's with everybody, is generally well liked. He knows enough to keep it short enough on Sunday so that no one takes a nap, and everyone can get on with the potluck and the talking. But he says what needs to be said, often calling out things in the community that need to be talked about. And even now, you see him with his wife, both moving things along with 5 women who look like they really should be in rocking chairs and helping, but all the same, ain't no one going to tell them no if they don't want a box in their ears. What would you like to do?
think Ruby will walk in first, all happy, and be like, "Oh, Master, ladies, how is everyone doing today?"
There's a moment. Well, isn't Ruby and Charlie? What are y'all doing up in here? You come to help? I go, I see where this should go. Now hush now. They've come into God's house. Don't need to be saying anything from you. Anyway, how can I help you?
I don't know. Like, she didn't know whether to be offended or what on what this lady was saying. She just kind of like cocks her head for a second, like, okay.
Don't you mind them. They're just busy.
Yes,
They're
know.
just more upset that they lost my help. That's all.
Oh, well,
But
we
his wife
actually.
kind of, oh yes, your help is so precious. Now you hush. Come on now.
This is why I like you the most, Miss Phillips.
Nuts.
Well, we've actually. There have been a lot of bad things happening, and we want to do something, and we heard that you guys help out with the prison on Wednesdays, and they've been working so hard, and there's just a lot going on, and we'd like to help.
All right. Well, Harry, you gonna really say no to these to a few strong arms? Help you out there a bit.
We'll try not to get underfoot.
Uh-huh. Well, he's right. I think to make those packs lighter, if we can go from 3 trips to 1, it'd be worth it, just as long as you all can carry.
Oh, Charlie here carries so much.
I certainly can and would be very happy to help.
I give you side eyes. Well,
I don't carry much, but I thought maybe I could bring some books and enrich their minds as well as their souls.
that sounds pretty good, right? Like, as long as she don't bring any of that Chaucer. Oh, you ain't gonna bring Chaucer, are you?
I think I would do that.
All right. No, that Balzac. No Balzac. You're gonna be okay, right, Basil? You're gonna be appropriate.
Yes, of course.
All right.
Oh, why would anybody want to be I mean, yes, of course she's going to be appropriate.
All right. He better be doing something else. We don't let you come because you say you gotta say the word or something. All right, you gotta. Charlie, you'll be able to do something, right?
I mean, I do know some Amazing Grace, and I know some hymns, and I can sing whatever would help lighten loads, and help enrich souls. Absolutely.
All right. Now, with everything you guys are doing with the mayor and these people, they're only going to be like level 3, maybe 4. So the fact that you're 2 steps down plus you're skilled, this is all 0 because of what you've done with your cipher.
Awesome.
So we're role playing through this because so I do want to kind of say that because I don't want you to feel like you didn't use your cipher. Your cipher is making all this essentially working because pretty much everything would be 3, and it's just like, yep, with that on, just things are just rolling in. You're not kind of thing too crazy, and it's like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, now I don't know how much help I would be, but I'll do my best to do something.
Your arms look big enough.
Excuse me? Are you calling me fat?
Charlie.
You could help one day.
He goes, listen. This woman's like, I ain't saying nothing, but it appears you may look in the mirror from time to time.
Charlie will nudge
Would
Ruby.
you cut all that out?
Charlie will nudge Ruby ever so slightly.
I feel like I should be offended.
We can be offended later, Ruby. You can
Okay.
tell me all about it.
Well,
Okay.
it looks like we're already here. Y'all just come around 10:30, help us load on up, and we'll take you out, all right?
That sounds
Y'all need
splendid.
to hush now.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Pastor.
She starts patting her stomach, like
Oh,
she's like, "Am I letting myself go? What is happening here?"
And at this point, since that sounds like the pastor's like, okay, we're ready. It's all set. Charlie will sort of very gently help guide Ruby out of the church as we're
Very
sort
good.
of going, just telling her, yeah, Ruby, you are still the most beautiful sight in this here town. There's no need for you to be worried about what our lovely co-workers tomorrow are saying. Charlie is attempting to be very civil in all directions at the moment.
Okay. I'm a lot better looking than them old bats any day. It's fine. It's fine.
Basil's just distracted talking to them about books.
Charlie's actually eyeing if there's any pews where there might be a hymnal, so that he can like remind himself of some things. Just like,
Yeah, you could totally grab one. Yeah, easy enough.
grab a hymnal and be like, okay, I got like 24 hours. I can learn a few of these. Hymns are usually pretty simple.
I don't know how, like, I don't know how what is it, I still have that last cipher that I could use on the morrow.
We get out of the church and out of earshot, and Charlie just looks at Basil and Ruby and says, I don't know if that trip to church enriched our souls, or if we might have left some bad voodoo behind in there. I feel a little bad for Pastor Philip.
I feel like I picked up bad voodoo.
Oh, I thought they had lovely suggestions for the book.
Well, you know what?
I mean, a little
you guys got along so well with them people in there.
I mean, I was going to say some of their choices were Philistine, but that's okay.
I should bring in one of my romance novels.
Okay, we should.
Don't get me kicked out before we even start this.
No, hey, you ain't bringing it in. I am.
It's just
Ruby, you're going to start a whole different riot.
Charlie stops and thinks and goes, well, I mean, if that does it too, I guess that has the same effect.
Yeah.
We're just trying to cause...
We're trying to cause a scene, and a scene with them in there, that'd be perfect. No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. I don't want them to get hurt because of something. I don't want those poor old ladies to break a hip.
And it would probably be better if the trouble does start that we're not actually anywhere near it. if we can avoid it.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'll help in any way that I can. And it's fine. It's fine.
Miss Ruby, I will play for you any song you like this evening.
It's before or after you guys are going to the Sugar Shack?
Are we still doing that?
What?
I thought we had a different plan going.
Where are we going?
That was back when we were gonna. That was back when we were gonna pretend that this was like a natural mountain lion attack. I think that ship has sailed, Basil.
Yeah, I think it has too. But I mean, I wouldn't mind going back.
For research, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course it's research. I gotta know what he's got in there. No, I don't need it. I got a bottle at home.
Yeah, I think maybe laying low might be the best choice of action. We already know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually know if the warden remembers us. Ivan did something.
Yeah, Ivan said something to the warden. He just looked off.
All right.
Let's.
Should we head back home
Yeah.
and gird our loins for tomorrow?
What do you think these
What
old
the-
ladies are going to do to you?
It's an expression. It's just an expression, Basil.
Yeah, he better gird the loins.
Now
Oh,
I'm
them
gonna-
ladies were eyeballing you, Charlie.
I was attempting not to notice.
Oh, it's okay. I noticed plenty for you.
That's good.
like we all went to a different meeting.
Well, they say everyone's church experience is different.
I think I had the worst meeting of them all. I need to go get some cold water. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go make plans on what we're gonna say to Ty tomorrow and how
Well,
we're gonna get
Yeah.
him on
I
board.
figured I got the easiest way to get in there because while you guys are all passing out meals, I can walk around with the books and conversation will be a little more natural because it'll be like, oh, what are you interested in? May I suggest this? And I can slip a note in it.
Yeah.
Why you guys are being a horrible influence on me?
I thought it was the other way around.
I think I've been reading too many of your novels.
Hey, you have not complained so far.
No, I haven't.
Mm-hmm. All right. So it's hard to get it. Like, I think a note. I don't know if a note would be enough to convey everything. I think we need to talk to him.
If there's a way for,
Well,
if there's, yeah.
maybe
I-
the two should hand out books.
I think I'm likely going to be conscripted, we shall say, into playing some music.
Yeah.
Right.
Which
But-
I can do to keep attention, at least maybe on me for a bit. Might allow the two of you to have a conversation, passing out books. If Ruby, you help Basil passing out books.
Yeah.
Because you all are better at talking to them than I am.
Okay, that sounds like a plan. I could just help carry the food in with my beefy arms.
To be fair, Miss Ruby, most of them probably haven't had any upper body strength for about 25 years.
Just because they hadn't had any upper body strength in 25 years doesn't mean I've had any upper body strength in my whole 25 years.
I don't think you
I
took
don't-
it the way I meant it. I'm gonna go find some books.
I'm a pampered lady.
I'm gonna stick some Chaucer in there, but I'm gonna put a different book cover on it.
Hey, you got any of your like?
Penny Dreadfuls are over there.
Yes. All right, so we need to try and figure out a way for him to be able to cause a scene to make things not get anybody injured, but to make things more difficult within the mine or within the prison, to make it seem like there's a bunch of maybe incompetence going on.
Well,
Is that what I'm getting?
do you think that jar is going to be a good idea? Because I can hollow out one of these books and put the jar in it.
It could work, but you'd have to explain it to him. I think that one other option is that he might have some ideas about how it could be done. Once we ask if he's willing to do it, he's been working the mine. He's evidently has a position of somewhat authority amongst the prisoners, at least, or at least they trust him.
He did seem smarter than the rest of them.
So he might have some ideas already. We just might have to push him along to the sense that he could get out of having to work in the mine if a little bit of disruption occurred. He definitely seemed like he didn't like being down there.
Yeah.
What would you?
I was down there. I didn't like it one bit.
Exactly. You probably did a lot more times.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, I think we should do both. I'll go hollow out a book, and I'll hide this in here.
All right.
And then we'll also try the other way. That way, in case he doesn't have any ideas, we can provide him with one.
That works.
That works, yeah. Might as well keep our eyes open for this Evan Kruger as well, if we can. Though I think the mayor was right that I'm not sure trying to get a guard involved is the best option, but at least keep our eyes open.
Have we ever seen this Evan at the I don't know why I wanted to call it the Rusty Spoon or the Krusty Krab, because that ain't what it is. The banana split. God, I can't believe we named it the banana split.
So I can't.
Right. Yeah, I would say he's probably enjoyed himself there occasionally, though usually more during the day. Yeah, I think asking around wouldn't be too hard. Again, you got your big thing here.
Yeah.
I would say I'll give you, because you have your cipher active, that he. Actually, yeah, he wouldn't ever really be the banana split. He's more known for like coming by in the morning and getting some cough syrup.
Cough syrup.
Time
with cocaine and codeine in it.
Because it seems that he works the night shift.
Okay.
And so he doesn't drink before work, but he'll come by for something to get him calmed down after, so he can go to sleep in the day.
Okay. Well,
what about Ross Bailey?
Ross Bailey.
That was one of the. He's the one that's the supposed to be in charge.
He runs the mine. Mm-hmm. He's been seen there occasionally.
Is he the B&L person, or is he the head guard?
He's the head guard. Evan Kruger was the B&L.
No, Evan Kruger's the guard.
Evan Kruger's the guard. Ty's the prisoner. I don't remember who is B&L. I put names in, but I don't remember now.
Yeah. Ross Bailey runs a B&L mine.
Ross Bailey and B&L. Ty is the prisoner.
Kruger's the new guard.
Kruger's new guard. Warden Bateman is the warden.
Who is supposed to be down there then watching them, but really Ty does it?
It would really be Ross Bailey, because Ross Bailey is in charge of the mine.
Okay.
I think that's where I got it all confused in my brain.
Right. Yeah, because there isn't really a head guard. There's just the warden and then the guards. But then Ross Bailey is sort of I
He's
guess
like-
meant to be the supervisor of the mine, but Ty does most of the
work.
actual
Where
work of doing
would
it.
one find Ross Bailey after work?
He'd probably be at the banana split.
Banana split.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm not actually sure we want to be talking to too many of them and making ourselves too visible.
Hmm,
At least not yet.
I get it. Yeah.
It's good to know that that's where they are for potential future need to hunt them down.
Now, when you say that, do you mean like find them or hunt them?
I mean, find them.
Either
April.
or.
I meant
Oh.
find them.
Yeah, I mean, fine.
I worry about this group. Why do I ask questions I don't want answers to?
I have answers you probably don't want to question.
That too.
All right, so go ahead.
I was actually was going to say. So, do we have a plan of? Do you have a plan for tomorrow?
I think we have a plan for tomorrow.
Okay.
Were we going to talk to Ruby May?
Didn't we just kind of?
Oh, you haven't talked to Ruby? Wasn't there?
Oh,
No.
when did we talk to Ruby May?
She was the one that does the provisions for the miners. I don't know why we would have talked to her, but I don't know. It was just
We'll likely meet her tomorrow.
maybe. All right. I'm sure we got some chores to get done at the homestead.
Yep.
Let's get those done. Eat a good dinner and get some rest. We got a long day tomorrow, I guess.
That we do.
I feel like we got a long week.
Yeah, that too. All right. I gotta rest my weary fat bones.
She did not say you had.
Charlie has decided to stop trying to actually argue with Ruby. He's just going to play this. When they get home, he's going to play the songs that he knows she likes.
Very good. And in that case, I think we'll go ahead and end for tonight. And you've got to hang out what you're doing next week.
Yeah.
All set, get into the prison there. So
Okay.
unraveled a few things, got a little bit of shock, and we will be back next week. Anyone watching? Thank you so much.
Bye.
Night, fam.
Night, family.